Hello and welcome back to the Station Roaders podcast. Walking down the station road. It's been a while since we've done anything. So we thought we would be back on your screens and Cozzo's massive telly that he keeps banging on about his 65 inches about. We thought we'd be back on your screens in time for the new season starting. But we've had a few bits of technical issues. Wayne bought a tablet, and there's been an absolute debacle with that tablet. And in the time since we've done the last podcast to now, he's forgotten how to use Zoom. So it took me about 3 days.
It took me a while, Barney, I'll be honest. I really couldn't work out how to get it on. But we're here now, you know what I mean? More importantly, the hat man has bought a new hat, nice Tommy Hilfiger, you know what I mean? I've not been wasting time while we've been away, Barney.
So if I had the money to buy a Tommy Hilfiger hat, I'd be an happy man. So advertising for you there as well. So Wayne still can't use Zoom. So literally, it's like talking me 5-year-old daughter through how to do something. So it's not been the best start to the podcast part two. But yeah. So anyway, we're back now. Do you want to start with what's it called? The thing that about the drinks. Wine o'clock. That's it. I nearly forgot his name then.
I've been on it already, I see.
Well, do you know what? I've had a rough day at work today, and I got home and decided to have a couple of pints of cider. My missus is going to go off her head when she gets back from work because one of those was hers. But yeah, they're dispatched now. So we've actually been going to Tesco's for this cider. I forgot what it's called. It's like a fake posh cider, but it's £2.5p for 2 litres. So you can get just under 4 pints out of it. £2.5p for 4 pints. I mean, that's lockdown bargain at the best of times for me, that, and it's been an absolute superstar. So what flavour of tea have you been drinking this week, Wayne?
Right, well, first of all, I've just been on the Pepsi, man. I've not had a drink probably about 18 months. So if this season gets going and we're allowed back out, I am going to need at least 4 carers whenever we go anywhere. But I like the variety. We've gone from Tommy Hilfiger hats to £2.5p cider. We like to mix all varieties in on this show.
Yeah, that's it. If you go to Warden Tesco's, walk right to the end aisle, furthest away from the door. It's second aisle from the end. You'll see it. There's loads of it. And I'm not saying people in Warden like a cheap cider, but that's where it is. That's what it's about. Anyway, we're back. We're here, back on your telly boxes and your computers and everything else. My missus is a bit upset, actually, because I can't walk down the canal in Boothstown without somebody pulling me up and go, "Hey, I'm loving your podcast." I think she thinks I'm getting a big head about it, but my head's always been a bit massive anyway. Let's start.
More importantly, Barney,
go on, mate.
We've missed 2 games.
We have missed 2 games. Well, I mean, we missed one game. We missed one game. And yeah, we started doing a bit of a rundown of this game, but we'll start with the Bradford game if you want.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, superb. What was your thoughts then, mate?
I thought, all in all, friendlies are always a bit iffy, aren't you? You don't really know what to take out of them. But I thought there was enough positives in that game, besides the fact that we won it. But I thought for the first run out in, let's just say, 12 months, I thought the lads looked fit, they looked together, they looked pretty well organised. Obviously, Bradford are tipped to be a bit up the table. And let's be honest, he made a few subs at once and we sort of turned the game round. But even up to that point, we was in it. I thought it was a good, solid sort of friendly. Probably you can't ask for any more, really. So all in all, pretty good.
Yeah, I think your Bradford halfbacks, that's going to be the key to their season because they saw, I mean, we know what it's like. Bradford saw a couple of good seasons every year, don't they? They were in the Championship 1, weren't they? And they were looking at getting promoted to Super League. So it's like, I've never known a team talk up their chances in a season as much in all my life. But their 2 halfbacks look a class pairing. They've got some big lads down the middle as well. And they've got a bit of nous on the outside. So I think Bradford will go all right this season. I can't see them being up there come the end of the season. But I think they'll go all right. Our performance from that, for me, the thing that shone out is our reliance on Waterworth at 9. Because everything. It's like when Luke comes off the pitch, we don't look after Team we are when he's on there. And modern rugby league, you need 2 class 9s to keep momentum running because everything comes through your 9. So I think that was sort of the only, not worry. I don't want to use the word worry because we've got Nash from Saints, haven't we? We've got Brickhill can play at 9 as well, haven't we? So we've got options there, but I just think that Waterworth is sort of our standout 9 at the moment. So hopefully, I mean, let's face it, Nash is a kid. He is for all the skill and tenacity he's got. He is still a bit young, so I don't know if he's going to take a season or not to come through. I hope I'm wrong. Don't get me wrong. I love the kid already. He's pulled on a Swinton shirt, so he's ace by me. But I think that's something that's going to be. We might get found out if we get an injury to Waterworth.
I think as well when we're a slightly smaller team than others, you need them number 9s to get you out of your own area. You need to get someone picking that ball up quick, maybe scooting out, just get you on the front foot when you've not necessarily got the biggest pack in the league. You need Luke and the likes of to get you going forward. So, I agree. Like I said, I think with Luke on, but I think Luke, are doing a job in any team in that league. So, it's not surprising that he looks good when he's on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's it, isn't it? I think the other thing as well is the amount of work that we get through. Also, in fact, going back a little bit, probably a slightly later start to the season for us this year has been good because our forwards are a little bit smaller than some of the other packs that we've got in our league. So I think that a slightly later start to the season has probably done us a little bit better because we're not paying on them really heavy pitches where we can't throw it about. So that sort of played into our hands a little bit. And hopefully, like as the season goes, the pitches get even harder, and the big lads don't like the hot weather. If we have a decent summer, we could be all right. I mean, I've put a few quid on us finishing top 6. I mean, not enough to retire on, but it'll pay for me, pay for a weekend for me. And
everything else.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think for me, the Bradford game, I took loads of encouragement from it.
I did. Like I say, I thought for a friendly, I thought that ticks all the boxes. Even at the end, when you're hanging in a little bit, hanging on a little bit, you want to see that. You want to see that you're not just going to crumble.
Yeah.
Obviously, the only bad side out of the Bradford game was the unfortunate Josie Kenga injury. Yeah. The Station Road sponsored Kenga injury, which looks like it's going to be a long time sort of thing. It's unfortunate for the lad, you know what I mean? It's really bad.
Yeah. You've got a feel for the lad because he's a top kid. He is an absolute ace bloke. And like you say, if you can see Wayne's sign at the moment, we actually called the Tation Odors at the moment. He asked me if his sign was in the right place, and I told him it was. And I just thought I'd tell him it was just so I could rip into him about this bit.
I've also lost the remote for the sign, which is why it's flashing random colours. I think the sign's going. I think we're going to have a reason for the set design, and it's going. So, that's unfortunate, but,
Absolutely, Ace. But yeah, like I say, he's a top kid, and it's looking like a season that Achilles. It's not a nice injury to have. I mean, he played about 90 seconds before he come off, and you've got
shocking, really.
After 12 months out as well, you really have got a feel for the kid. Yeah. And like I say, personally, every time I spoke to him, he's a really, really nice guy. And so I think I'd just like to say to him, I mean, get well soon is probably not the right thing to say, is it? But it's like I hope I hope the injury heals really well, and I hope he's back as soon as he can be, as soon as it's safe to do it.
Well, maybe we have to see if we can get in touch with him and see if he'll come on. Maybe just obviously tell us what this means for the player now. Talk us through a bit of rehab and that sort of thing, because obviously it's a tough gig. Maybe he'll come on and have a chat with us about it.
Obviously we're open to anybody coming on. Now, our league app, what do you want to say about that, Wayne?
Right. I mean, the R-Liga, I mean, I'll start with the good stuff. When you actually get the product on the phone or the TV, I think it's fantastic. I think at a fiver, it's not even a decision, is it? Just buy it. Just buy it with a fiver. Even if you end up watching it on your phone, it's fine. Just buy it with a fiver. The website is a little bit better. I think at times there's a problem with registration. Sometimes it says it's not registered your account and things like that. I helped. There's an old guy who I know. He's like he's really old, so it's understandable. I don't know if people know him, but like I say, he's a really old guy. I think they call him Wade.
Yeah,
Wade.
Wade.
Yeah, he really struggles with. I mean, anything over, 1932, he's struggling with it. But I helped him set his up, and the positive side is even he has watched the games on his TV. Brilliant. So my advice about the R-League app is just persevere with it, get it on, find out your way around it a little bit. But the actual product of watching the games through it, even quite simply onto your TV, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like I say, just persevere with it and get to the game, and it works well.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that for Wadey as well, because he remembers sort of the glory years, doesn't he, the 1920s? So, and then he'll remember it again in the 60s. And now, if he can see a decent season this year, he'll be all right with that. So that's pretty good, that.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I mean, I've had sort of similar things with it. I think the app's great if you're tech savvy. If you're not, I can sort of understand where it becomes like a bit of a pain in the backside. But every week, people use it a little bit more. It is going to start coming better. Right, let's move on to Newcastle. Yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Go on, then. I'll let you go first.
I'll be honest with you. I was a bit nervous yesterday.
Yeah.
But it really felt like Rugby League was back yesterday. Obviously, we'd had the friendly. Excuse me. We'd had the friendly, but that's a friendly. Yesterday was a proper game. And it was good just to get it back on. I was in here. The dog started my phone at one point, which I don't normally get at the game. I'm streaming it over onto my telly. She got winged in the garden for a couple of hours, but she's all right now, we're friends. But overall, I was well impressed with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go as far as to say that first half was probably one of the best first halves I've seen Swinton play in recent times. And not just because it was 16-0, because we didn't make them stupid errors. We completed everything. We weren't knocking on the first tackle in our own 20. It happened a couple of times later on in the second half, but overall, I was well impressed.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. It's like, I think the thing for me was we looked a really accomplished side. These in the past, we've almost not bottled it isn't the right word because that's not a fair thing to say. But in the past, we've made a few rash decisions in the last 10 minutes of both halves. And if you take the last 5-10 minutes of both halves yesterday, we would have won putting points on the board. And that's amazing. That I mean, the things that I took from that game yesterday was Riddy is an absolute godsend for us. That bloke, his game management is absolutely excellent. Obviously, Luke put another shift in. We look better when he's on the pitch. Absolutely superb. In fact, I want to mention Rodders if I could. Where did he find that pace from?
I don't know, mate. I was shocked. I mean, he looked reasonably tired towards the end, and then he picked that ball up with, was it 5 minutes to go or something like that, and just set off like a rocket. I don't know what the groundsman's been doing, but I think there must definitely be a slope in that part of the pitch because he just set off.
There's two people that I've seen that quick. Matty Ashton and Dave Raby in Newcastle about 10, 15 years ago when he did the Ring of Fire and he had a newspaper stuck up his backside that was on fire and he's running around a pub.
Yeah.
They're the only two people I've ever seen that quick. And, I mean, I was absolutely gobsmacked. But on top of that, our support play was ace. We had like Gmo's support play, Jack Hanson's support play. It was absolutely brilliant. I was really impressed.
Yeah. I thought Gmo as well. I thought Station Road sponsored Gmo. I thought he looked outstanding, if I'm honest. I don't want to get too excited.
Yeah.
But at fullback, which I think is where he's going to be, not only did he take every ball effortlessly, I think that comes down to the fact that he's in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And like you say, even in the last few minutes of the game, he's backing Rodri Lloyd up, who was probably running, 60 miles an hour at that point?
At least.
And then Gmo's on his shoulder and just put it under the sticks to put the final nail in the coffin for Newcastle. But I thought, let's be clear, I know we're only naming a few players. Nobody did anything wrong, I don't think, yesterday.
No.
I thought everybody played well. No. And maybe the messages that Stu and Alan Coleman Stu Littler and Alan Coleman, their coaching methods, just maybe, fingers crossed, that everybody's starting to be on the same sheet and, just do if you do the basics in our division, that you're halfway there, certainly on the bottom few teams. Yeah. If you can do the basics well, you can cut the errors out, you're halfway there. And maybe we're finally getting that.
Mm. One of the things that I loved yesterday as well was Lapora. A few times over the past few years, he's dived out of the line and he's not quite made the tackle, and they've gone round him, and he was exposed a couple of times yesterday, and his defence was absolutely top notch. Yeah. If you were going to point at one man that said, right, okay, he's our match winner for yesterday, you could probably point a finger at him. His defence was absolutely superb. I've loved the guy ever since he dusted it up at Bradford a few years ago. That when Matty Ashton's went nearly full length, and he doesn't take a backward step, that kid. Mad as a box of frogs. You can see that when in the way that he defends. But like I say, a couple of try-saving tackles there. And I'm actually really happy with the first hit out. And it's been quite a few years since I've been this happy about watching the Swinton side, because we look exciting. It's ace.
I think the main thing that I was happy about yesterday, obviously, scoring at the end of each half, like you said, that is something Swinton don't do.
No.
That we do the complete opposite to that, which is probably like when we had Stu on, when he spoke about them close games that we lost. They are the reason, aren't they? Yeah. When you're slipping 4 or 6 in before half time and then at full time, that is probably the reason you're losing that game. So if we can turn that round and obviously be the opposite of that and do what we did yesterday, because obviously there was a couple of times when Newcastle got sort of within a converted try, of getting it back to level. And in recent times, or in past times, that's when we maybe let another one in. You knock it on early in the tackle, and then before you know it, you're drawing again. But obviously to kick on and score them tries when you're under pressure, to do it at the end of each half, and just simply the lack of what I would consider just stupid errors, them 3 things are what I seen and thought, okay, now we might be mixing it a little bit. You know what I mean? They're the things that made me think, okay, that they're good signs.
If you look at that Newcastle side yesterday, there's some good players in that side. There's some really good players in that side. You got like the Chapel brothers. They're ace players in our league.
Been around a while,
They're top end championship players, and and we made. We didn't make them look ordinary, but we put them to the sword. We were the better team.
Newcastle had large parts of the ball at times. But obviously they scored a couple of tries, 3 tries, whatever it were. But even as much time as they had with the ball, we never really looked out of shape.
No.
It weren't like it was going in each corner and was doing you know, like hanging on by our skin of our teeth. We was relatively, yes, we was defending a lot, but we was relatively controlled. Yeah. Again, you know, maybe the coaches have got that message to all the players. This is the plan. This is how we do it. You know what I mean? You're not getting people running out the line. You're not getting people trying to be the hero and then giving an eye tackle away and them sorts of things. Obviously, there was a couple of incidents where, you know, a silly knock on, you know, slipped the ball out, you dropped it. But again, you're not going to get a perfect 80 minutes.
No, and the first game was a minute.
That's exactly it. For the first proper game of the season, I was well impressed with it. As much as I was hitting myself at times, if I'm honest. You know what I mean? I'm watching it thinking, I forgot what this is like. You know what I mean? I forgot this. Yeah. But it's awesome.
My missus said it. We were sat, like, obviously watching it on the telly, and she says, you actually enjoy this, don't you? And I'm like, yeah. She says, I'm petrified. It's like she's only really been she didn't even know that there were 2 codes of rugby this time 3-4 years ago. And now she come downstairs yesterday. I bought her a Swinton sock with Scott on the back. And it's, if any of you don't know, my real name's actually Scott. I wasn't christened Barney. It was and so I bought her a Swinton shirt with Scott number 5 on the back. And because when in my pomp when I was running him in, I played number 5, and it was I was rubbish. And so I bought her the shirt, and she come down with it on yesterday. And so she come from not knowing there was 2 codes of rugby to being like a pretty much fully fledged Swinton fan and buzzing off it and jumping up and down. And like when Butty went up for that bomb and scored his try, she rode him over the line. She's like, go on. It was absolutely like seeing that was ace. But yeah, she's like, she says, I love it, but my heart rate is through the roof for 80 minutes. And I think that's why it's the best sport.
Fantastic.
So, right, let's move on to anything.
Yesterday would have been the perfect game to be in the stadium, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You've got the 2 late tries, first and second half. You've got a solid first half. Yeah. You know, just that would have been the perfect game to actually be there. And, you know, hopefully before long we'll be there. Yeah, I'm not going to let it slide, though, Barney, that you've just admitted you bought your missus a shirt with your name on it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So nothing weird about that. Let's carry on.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what you're saying, mate. I think it's perfectly normal.
You don't even look bothered by it.
What's your point? I bought Laura a shirt with my name on it as well. She sleeps in it.
Yeah, but she only wears it when she's at her house. So
is that right? She don't rub it in your face then.
Everyone's got limits. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, so moving on. The Oldham game. Now, this morning, but the BBC don't even know Swinton exists. Like yesterday, they were talking about ex-players of ours and didn't even mention us and stuff like that. So it's like we're the team that time forgot, really. So I put a cheeky tweet out this morning saying that if Swinton and Oldham is on the BBC, I'll show my backside on the town hall steps. And then Wayne texts me at dinner time, Sean it was, wasn't it? Davy texted at dinner time and to our WhatsApp group, saying that Swinton are on TV on Sunday at 12:30. As much as I'd love to go up to the town hall and get my backside out, I'm going to say I like my career more than I think that'd be funny. So I'm not, as much as I've had about 4 Oldham fans tweeting me as well, telling me, saying, go and get your backside out. It's not happening, lads. It's just simply not happening. But I'm really pleased that we're on the BBC because it shows that we're going places as a club. In the past, would the RFL have backed us to be on the BBC? And I don't know, but I think everything's sort of come together at the right point. We've got the Haywood Road ground, which is a great ground. We've got a really good standing within the RFL with the work that we're doing in the community, etc. So I'm really impressed with that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's great we're on the BBC on the red button. like I say, you'll get eyes on the game. I think it'll be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. I think I watched the Oldham. Did Oldham play? Remind me, Barrow? Was it Barrow? No.
What, this weekend?
Who did Oldham beat? I'm sure they played Barrow, didn't they?
Check
it, Barney, check it. I can't remember. I bought the weekend pass this weekend, so I watched most of them. I didn't really watch the London game,
right?
But I pretty much watched most of the others. I'm sure it was Barrow, weren't it?
Yeah, Barrow. They beat Barrow 20 points to 6.
Yeah. Like I say, I watched that game, and both teams maybe made a few errors and things like that, and what have you. And I'm not going to call any shots on, Ian, and maybe get made a fool of it next week. But I'm looking forward to the game.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it should be good.
The past few years, we've had the upper hand over Oldham. There's no two ways about it. I mean, we're an established championship side now. They've been messing about with them lot from up the road in Championship 1. And it's so, in theory, we should, touch wood, be going to this game as favourites. And I can't remember the last time Swinton went into a Challenge Cup game as favourites, like at this stage of the competition. So it's going to be an interesting game. And also, if you think about it, this is a quarter final of the 18 whatever it is cup, of the Sundex Trophy or whatever it's called. This is a big game for our club, because let's face it, we're 2 games away from Wembley. We beat Oldham, we get a decent draw in the semi-final. We're at Wembley. When was the last time? Well, Swinton, I don't think they played at Wembley, have they? I mean, Steve Wilde will probably know more than we do, but I'm sure they were saying on the BBC's, not on BBC, on the our league app yesterday that we've never played at Wembley.
Colin James said, didn't he? We played just before it went to Wembley, and then we played another one, but for some reason it weren't at Wembley.
Yeah.
So I think that was what he said.
Yeah. So it could be our season to sort of pull up under that massive piece of scaffolding at Wembley. It's not the same now. It's not the 2 towers, is it? That massive piece of scaffolding.
Do you think we could be brave enough to make predictions for games while we're on our podcast? Or is that...
Yeah, if we want to look stupid, I think it's a perfect thing to do, because it's all Pete Tong.
Right, well, I'm going to put mine on the table, and I'm going to say Swinton will play Oldham next week, 12:30 on Sunday on the Red Button. And I'm going to say the score will be Swinton Lions 32, Oldham Ruffians 14. You can all thank me later. Don't worry about it.
If we get beat now, I'm going to burn your house down.
Right, we will not get beat, and my mum will go apeshit if you do. So please don't do that.
Right. Brilliant. Tell Bevan.
Are you gonna throw yours out there, Barney, or are you not?
I think it's going to be a little bit closer than you think it is, Mouth. Right. I think it's going to be a little bit. I'll say 26-22 to Swinton. I'm going to go for the Swinton win, because I think with what I've seen so far and what the side that Oldham look like have put together, I can't see them giving us much trouble over the full 80 minutes. I think we've got enough in our locker. If everybody's come through that game fit, I mean, obviously Forsyth went off.
Yeah, Forsyth went
early doors. But yeah, if we turn up and do what we do, there's no reason that we shouldn't win this game. And it's nice to be a Swinton fan and be able to say that. Just as a sort of last thing before we wrap it up, what I want to mention is the season ahead. I'm really excited about this season. Really excited. Like I said before, I took Al Coleman's advice, and I put my mum and dad's house on us finishing 6th. So if my mum and dad end up on the streets, I think they're going to go and end up living with Alan Coleman. I'm sure he won't mind. His kitchen looked massive when he was on here, so it'll be all right. It'll be sound as a pound. But the thing that's annoyed me is you go on all the betting sites and you look at the odds that Swinton have got, and we're massive outsiders on every site. It's like whoever they have sorting the odds out for the rugby league, they don't pay any attention to what's going on the field. They just literally just throw a dart at a dartboard or Swinton 500 to 1, Oldham 60.
My view on rugby league betting is it's rubbish. It's a waste of time.
Yeah,
they give you no prize. They either, I think someone said after that game yesterday, Swinton went to, was it 50 to 1 or 66 to 1 to win the league? Now, don't get me wrong, they've come down a lot, but that's silly.
Yeah.
What I'm saying by that is, even the most optimistic Swinton fan, we are way more odds than that.
Yeah.
But yet, then you look a few weeks ago, and they were putting us down as second favourites, and even the prices you get on games, it's rubbish. It's hardly worth betting on rugby league, to be honest.
It's like the World Cup in September, October, whenever it is, and England about 8 to 1, 12 to 1, something like that. So if you put a tenner on England to win the cup, you're losing a tenner, and that's the way it goes, because everybody knows Australia are going to win. New Zealand might turn up on the day and do him. Is that going to happen? Probably not. But it's a bit of a farce. There's not. It's an
also as well. If I betted on Swinton games, picture the scene. I bet the game we lose in the last minute. I'm angry. You know what I mean? It's luckily I can keep the composure. If I put £3 on Swinton to win, I'm going all out. And let's just say back in the day, maybe a certain player, let's say Josh Barlow gets sent off. You know what I mean? He gets sent off with a few minutes to go. We lose the game. I'm coming for him. Because somebody owes me £3. So it's just best. It's best I don't bet on the games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I must admit, like, knowing what I know of Josh, he'd be panicking if you came at him, mate. He'd be absolutely panicking. He won't be sleeping. He's literally one eye open.
I had a nice chat with Josh. About a month ago, he was doing a fireplace on my street, and I had a great chat with him. Obviously, he pulled me up, saying you've been giving it the big one on your podcast and all that lot. So I just, we had a few words, and he backed off, obviously, but you know what I mean. No, seriously, we had a great chat. He's doing well, and it was good to have a chat with him. But don't worry me, Josh. That's all I'm saying.
Cool. Well, we've got a few people lined up for over the next few weeks, but I think what we need to do is try and get back into getting it a little bit more regular, because I've had a load on with work and stuff like that, and I know that Wayne's been really busy doing whatever it is that Wayne does, nothing. So yeah, brilliant. So right, well, thank you very much for watching again. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, 3 words for next week's game. Completion. That's brilliant. All we need.
It's like Coach Carter, like literally Alex Ferguson and Coach Carter all rolled into one. I'm well impressed with that. I mean, composure in it, and that's what Riddy brings to us. That's what Luke at 9's giving us at the moment. That's what Rodders did with his 60-mile-an-hour burst up the middle like a scolded rat. So it was all good fun. Right. Thank you very much for watching. We will definitely see you again very, very soon. A lot sooner than the last one. So apologies for this. And take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.